What's going on, YouTube Nation?
Oh my god.
Welcome back to our live stream. It's not live. Man, I'm really bombing, huh? This is going to be a review for the... This is going to be...
Wish I was dead.
I'm not drunk or high. I don't know why. I can't even start a video without messing up. This is going to be a review for the Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. So this is a review because we actually had recorded it already and uploaded it, and then it was brought to our attention that there was no sound. So if we sound a little bit, we probably wouldn't sound any different to anybody else, but to us, it might seem a little bit like mundane, or I don't even know what to say about it, just because we've already been through all this before, and there's going to be probably less energy or excitement about it than there was before. And now it's been not 2 days, but like 3 days now since we watched the movie. So anyway, I'll try to remember the best of everything I said yesterday. Maybe I'll think of some stuff that I didn't even say before. But yeah, I think yesterday we just started out with saying, it's definitely the scariest. The Conjuring movies are some of the scariest, not some of the scariest movies. The scariest and best horror movies that either of us can probably think of. The Conjuring 1 and 2, Insidious kind of competes with it as well, which also has Patrick Wilson. I was thinking about that last night, which was interesting. I think him and Vera Farmiga, they just both like a lot of horror stuff. But yeah, so the first and the second one, like I said, were so good. I was worried about this one. I think you were as well. Because you said, James Wan, the original director from the first two, wasn't involved in it. And also they've done some spin-off movies since the second one, I do believe, that haven't turned out to be so good. I think some of the Annabelle movies were good, but then some of them were really bad. And then what else was there? There was the Law. How do you say it? She just leaves it to me. The I don't even know what I could say. There's a spin-off movie from The Conjuring. It starts off with La. I can't say it correctly because I'm not Spanish like her. I don't speak Spanish like she does, so she can say it better than I can, and she always makes fun of me for it. But anyway, that one was absolute garbage. We both fell asleep in the middle of it. Barely, really paid too much attention to it. And then what else? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, The Nun. Yeah, so The Nun was like something out of those movies that scared me so bad. And The Nun, the movie itself, it was just terrible. So yeah, reason I said all that, just to let you know, is we were concerned about this movie. But I don't think we were disappointed at all. I don't think that we were brought up to the same height and expectation that we had, or the same just feeling of like, wow, this is like really scary. It's primetime horror like we were with the first and the second one. Because I think what I said yesterday, and a good way to put it, is kind of like this. So The Conjuring 1 and 2 are both movies that I would put on for somebody. Like I have actually, we put it on for her mom to watch just to show her, how scary they are or whatever. And just to, because we were so impressed with it. And so yeah, we do that with the first and second, but with this one, we wouldn't do it. The only way I would really recommend like somebody just to watch this as like a scary movie on its own is if you have seen the first and the second Conjuring movie, then you're going to want to continue them. But if, like I said, if you're just looking for something at the movie theater to go and see, just for some random scary movie, it's probably not going to impress you that much because it's pretty average. I mean, but in terms of comparison to the other Conjuring movies, I think they did a good job to make it different, right? Because it was Satan.
The first one was the witch, the second one was the ghost and the demon, and then the third one was just like a Satanist.
Yeah, like a
thing,
like
curse, hex.
Oh yeah, they had like the totem and thing in the movie, so that was cool. And it's also interesting how, it has a point of interest too, knowing that this is something that actually happened, like in a courtroom. Like this guy got away with murder. I mean, he went to jail for a few years, it turns out, and but he got away with murder by saying it was, he was possessed by demons, which is super interesting, in itself, on the case alone. So, But yeah, probably definitely the highlight of this movie, I think, is what we kept coming to whenever we did the review the first time was what are their names? Ed and Lorraine Warren. Their two characters, how they've been in a few of the spinoffs, but they're pretty much, I think, the most focal point in this movie than they have been in the second and the first one, which is great because they were probably one of my favorite parts of the first and the second one for sure, and they're definitely my favorite part of the third one. I think you as well. Their chemistry, they're both fantastic actors, um, and yeah, I mean they just work really well together. Um, so so yeah, this is a nice cherry on top, I think, for their relationship and their story. They said they wanted to do, they would be open to doing more of the movies, but I don't know. Like I said, it's a nice cherry on top, and also you got to be selective with what you pick so you don't go back over the same material that you've done. And I think they've done a good job of that so far. Like she said, you got the witch, the demon, and then now the cult, or I don't know, Satanist, whatever it is. So you got a nice variety in there, and you won't want to get repetitive. Um, so yeah, I think it was a good Conjuring movie in the trilogy, but just as a horror movie on its own, it's not very scary. It didn't really scare me. Maybe it's because I'm immune to horror movies at this point, or not immune, but I'm a little bit more vetted in them, right? But
Yeah.
but I was more just watching it because I like the actors and actresses, and I was just interested. I mean, none of the jump scares are like I would say bad, really. I mean, it's kind of hard to say what is even a bad jump scare anymore, just because I'm so used to them. I don't think you could really hardly surprise me anymore at this point with how many I've seen where something would really like scare you. But I wouldn't say anything was like cheesy really or anything like that. It was just fine. It was yeah, like I said, just pretty consistent with the other ones, I guess, for the most part. Just it was just, I think what we came to a general consensus yesterday was it's just okay. It was a good installment, didn't disappoint. It was as good as it could have been, I think, right?
Yeah, because the other movies were set in the setting of like a haunted house, so there's more to see and more to do with that, I guess. It's not really too much, because in this movie they're traveling from location to location, and then really the only scary parts you get are anything directly doing with the Satanists, and then coming back to Arnie, which isn't really scary, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Ed and Lorraine, though, I mean, those two characters, they really do carry the movie a lot because I was thinking about it. The scenes that didn't have them in it, not that other actors were bad or anything, but I mean, I did feel, of course, disinterested, more so. And I was telling her yesterday that we recorded. I think this is important too. For this movie, I mean, I know the other two Conjurings are based on a true story, but this one I just felt was a little bit more interesting, just because I'm sure all of these facts had been even more looked over and raked through and more public, just because it was, in the courtroom or whatever the court case. Um, but I did appreciate, actually, I would have appreciated more if they had it dimmed down on some of the things that they said, that or the horror moments that happen in this one. Just because I think that drew me into it more, thinking like, wow, that probably actually did happen. Because of course they're going to exaggerate some stuff for the movies. Like I don't know what for sure, but I mean some things I think you can just pretty much anybody could watch and assume like, oh yeah, that probably definitely happened like that. But then this is probably exaggerated for the movie. Maybe not. I don't know. But I like more of the stuff that's a little bit more grounded too, and I think that's why it was maybe a little bit more tame in terms of the scares as well.
More realistic.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's more tame. Like, I mean, do you really believe? I don't know, because he did get away, right, with the case. I mean, they did rule it as a possession, I guess, right? So, but like the scene when he's like levitating in the at the end, and all the glass and shit breaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would there even really need to be like even a court case at that point? I'd be like, all right, it's adjourned. Yeah, he was fucking possessed because look at all the damage that we got in the hospital. Just how the fuck did that happen, right? So some of that stuff you're like, I doubt that happened. That overblown. But of course, I know why they have to exaggerate it for the movies and stuff. But I would appreciate more the moments that were kind of tame, and it's thought provoking too. I guess all of them are, like I said, because it's stuff that actually did occur. But with this one, like I said, even a little bit more so. So yeah, I'm sure probably ended up leaving something out that we put in yesterday, because I think the video is like gonna probably end up being about half the time. But that's probably for the best anyway. Um, So just keep it more concise. But yeah, I think that's probably all I got to say. Oh, they ruined. I think I was telling you earlier. I don't know if you heard me because you had your headphones on, but they ruined the song. They played the song "Call Me" in the movie. I think it's by like Blondie or something like that. But I guess that song was kind of already ruined for me because it was the song that they played whenever I was interviewing for my first job. They blasted that song. I remember, and that's where I think heard it first for one of the first times. But so that's what I thought of whenever I would hear that song. But now whenever I go back to listen to that song, because I do on occasion, because it's a pretty good song. But now I'm gonna get creeped out because of the movie. I told her that's something I told her yesterday. I was like, we're gonna have to look behind us or be scared on rewatching the tape. Maybe that's why the audio messed up.
Whatever.
It was a ghost. It was a ghost or something. That's
It's your
some of this. I'm
fault.
gonna talk about this stuff. We're gonna see something in the reflection. But yeah, so that's it. We'll keep it there. 10 minutes. I think that's good. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, we were saying we haven't really done a movie review or a TV show review, even though I watch a lot of them. And we do together sometimes. So maybe this will be something that we continue doing with more stuff. We'll just have to see how it goes. But that's it for now. What you gonna say, boo? You got anything else to say?
Bye, bitch.